All right, so today we are talking about my favorite artists. And right off the rip, I'm gonna just let you know. Well, I want y'all to guess, take a guess. Who do you believe when I first started listening to like hip hop rap music? Who do you believe? Take a guess, take a guess. Who do you believe was my favorite artist? The first hip hop artist that I had ever heard. I give you a hint. It's a female. Whew, that's a big hint. That's a big hint. That knocks out 50% of the equation. And I am talking about in the hip hop rap. I'm not talking about Christian hip hop because back when I was, what was I, 11 years old? I didn't even know what Christian hip hop was. So, I want y'all to guess. But some of y'all ain't got time for that. Some of y'all can sit up and try to guess all day and all night. Just think about who is one of the coldest back in that era. And what was at the 90's when Tupac was real big? Who was one of the coldest females? You know what I'm saying? Like in rap. One of the coldest females. I'm gonna give you another hint. She's so cold, she's so hardcore, she's so gangster. If you heard on a record, her flow is so sick. You might mistake her for a dude. Not that she sound like a dude, but just, you might be like, all this coming from a female? Anyways, it's the Brat. So, and the Brat, she don't sound like a dude at all. That's what I like about her. She got this sweet voice, but she just hardcore with it. Like she has that energy that somebody like Twista or, you know what I'm saying? I forgot to put Twista on this list. But yeah, Twista is another one of my favorite artists. But I got a lot of them on this list, probably about 20 on this list. I'm gonna start from the top though, the Brat, my favorite one. That was my favorite one, was the Brat. When I got a little older, of course Tupac, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even gotta say that. Everybody liked Tupac. But I want to point out some ones that y'all don't know that I don't. I want to point out some artists that y'all don't know that I like, that are my favorite. So, Nelly and Nas. And yeah, the reason I like them two is because they are just cool dudes, cool, calm, and collect. You look back when you know, Nas had a lot of people coming at him sideways, you know what I'm saying? And Nas was a OG, you know what I'm saying? But he was about peace. He was about building the culture. You know, that's what I like. I like when you can have you know what I'm saying, a hardcore dude that says, nah. Cause think about it, man. It ain't anybody can do what all these other rappers is doing, pull the trigger, you know what I'm saying, and be a gangster and be locked up for the rest of your life, or do 20 years, 30 years, whatever. That's stupid though. When you a businessman, when you business minded, you think like T.I., for example. That's one of my favorite artists, T.I. Nas, Nelly, like they on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I'm gonna give y'all, I wasn't finna talk about any Christian hip hop artists yet. I don't even know if this is a Christian hip hop artist, but I think he is. I say he is, but you know, like Lecrae is a Christian hip hop artist, but he say he not a Christian hip hop artist. So I'm saying I'm putting this artist right here kind of in the same category as Lecrae in a way. I think he is a Christian hip hop artist though, but he just very street, and I like him because he's not a clone of Bone Thugs and Harmony, which is another one of my favorites from back in the day, Bone Thugs and Harmony. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing I liked about them was Bone Thugs and Harmony was they was very street, but they was like talked about the Bible, talked about God. You know what I'm saying? But Seven is one of those that I just really like, man. He's very similar to Bone Thugs and Harmony. He doesn't try to copy their style or anything like that. He just be himself. That's what I like about him. There's nobody out there that's like Seven. Nowadays, you got too many clones and copycats. Everybody trying to sound like this person, sound like their favorite rapper. Like, I feel like art Art is not about copying somebody else's style. And that's why I don't really like trying to fit in. Like I really stopped sending my music to, you know, these playlists that you gotta get approved to be on, and like all this different stuff. Like, oh well, your music don't sound like what everybody else. I don't want to sound like everybody else, cause that's just a certain trend, a certain wave, and then that wave dies out. And the only reason people start hopping on that wave is because a big name artist, like let's say Lecrae, for example. I'm not saying him, but I'm giving him for an example. Lecrae or any big time, it could be a big time artist that's just not in Christian hip hop, but they have come out with a certain sound. And then if you notice, other people start doing it. And then before you know it, everybody is doing it. And that's why I say when you turn on the radio, man, like everything sound the same. Like I don't like that. I like to sound like me. So when people turn on my music, like don't nobody sound like him. You know what I'm saying? I might have a little taste of this or a little taste of that, but not because I listen, not because I'm biting off other people. It's just because somebody's gonna find something to say, man, you know, he sounds kind of like this person, or he sound like this person. You know what I'm saying? Or he kind of got that style. And I'm from the South. I'm from, you know what I'm saying, Texas. So I was raised up on Houston, Texas music. So I'm pretty sure it's somebody in Houston that I might sound like. You know what I'm saying? But Mo 3. I like Mo 3 because Mo 3, you know, he's a street dude, but he talked about the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like he not just talked about it, but he was one of those that he wasn't afraid to let y'all know, like, you know, yeah, I'm a street dude, but you know what I'm saying, these are my roots. Like this is what I know. Like he just gave y'all everything. Then everybody started trying to do what Mo 3 was doing. It's like, you know, but really, let's take it back a step. Screwed Up Click, S.U.C, out of Houston, Texas. Everybody in Houston, Texas, I got love for. I was raised up on that kind of music. If you look at Screwed Up Click, most of them artists talk about Jesus Christ, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I don't want to say whatever, but I was gonna say God, but you know, most of them talk about stuff like that, kind of similar to Mo 3, or kind of similar to you know, like a lot of these artists that, you know, talk about the Lord, but they street dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like Houston, Texas has ever since I've known, they've been like that. And one of the first artists out of Houston, Texas that I ever heard was Lil Keke. That's why I got so much love for Lil Keke, because I was kind of like, that was the first kind of like rap music out of Texas that I had ever really heard. You know what I'm saying? And Lil Keke, he a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been in it for a while. He a genius. You know what I'm saying? Like he started his own like not many people like build and start their own. Like Lil Keke is building, man. He's thinking CEO. He's thinking like outside of the box, other than just partying and clubbing and doing this and spending money on this. Like, yeah, y'all people can do that. If you in the game for real, if you're in the music game for real, almost anybody can do that. But everybody's doing it. Like who gonna do something different? Look at Tyler Perry, for example. And yes, Tyler Perry, one of my favorite. He not a, well, I can put him on this list. But anyway, that's a bonus y'all gonna get. Tyler Perry, Master P. Tyler Perry, thing I like about Tyler Perry is, you know, he did something that nobody else was doing. He decided to build. Instead of just being in the movie, this man was thinking outside of the box. He was thinking bigger. He was thinking CEO. He was thinking ownership. Just like Lil Keke, just like a lot of artists, just like Lecrae. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you got to think. And that's how I think. It's one thing to be an artist. It's another thing to be a producer and an artist. Look at Kirk Franklin. You know what I'm saying? Who else I got on here? Who did I say? I said a name that I said Lil Keke, and then I said somebody else. I done forgot that quick. Somebody else I want to say, it's like right on the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, Master P. The thing about Master P is he thinks, you know what I'm saying, like ownership. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's all about helping other people. Nipsey Hussle, for example. I never really knew Nipsey Hussle until, you know what I'm saying, he started hitting the headlines, you know, when all that mess. Well, it wasn't. Was it? Yeah, it was. It was, you know, when all that mess had happened or whatever. But I like Nip because he was all about building, you know what I'm saying, building a culture, building a community. It's not a lot of people, man, that do that, man. They just want to go party and, you know, have fun with women and, you know, throw dollars in the club and, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same old stuff, man. And it's like, all that money you throwing in the club and all that money you spending on cars and houses and this, that. Like, it's cool. I'm not saying don't spend money on houses and cars and you got it, do it. But I'm saying they come to a point when it kind of get like excessive. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I already got everything I want, but I don't know what to do with my money, so I'ma just buy 10 more cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you want to. I mean, I shouldn't say do what you want to do. You can. You have that right. But I'm saying, like, you know, I think if I had money, man, like that, and I hope one day I do get money like that. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I probably never will, but I hope. You know what I'm saying? I keep pushing for it. Eminem. I like Eminem because thing I like about Eminem, I feel like when he first came into the game, he was the only, you know what I'm saying, person of his, you know what I'm saying, race that was really popping like that. He was the only really battle rapper, the only dude like that kind of had no fear. And it's crazy because I got a homeboy named D-Rock that is, you know what I'm saying, kind of, you know, just one of them that people just kind of doubt, you know. He reached out to me on IG, I think it was, one time. I don't know, maybe I reached out to him. But anyways, my boy Puntin out of Houston, Texas. Ronan Banks out of Houston, Texas. Puntin started his own, I think he got his own label now. Of course, I like Dr. Dre because you look back when Eazy-E, was it Eazy-E? Him and Eazy-E was on the same team, and you know, I didn't know much about Eazy-E, but I've seen like documentaries and stuff where, you know, him and Dre, you know, I kind of felt like, it's kind of like when you're on a team and that team has certain visions, and you as a solo artist, you have certain visions, but every time you try to raise your hand and give your input, it's kind of like, I'm not saying Eazy-E didn't acknowledge or respect anything that he did, but it's kind of like, sometimes when you in a group, when you have somebody over you, it could be a label. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't always be yourself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when Dre, him and Eazy-E had they, you know, differences, and Dre, you know what I'm saying, went his route, I feel like Dre kind of just became himself. He was able to be himself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, man, I can't say enough about Master P, man. I feel like he's one of the dopest. You know what I'm saying? Him and Lil Romeo, like, I really like what Master P did. He started in the streets. He was a street dude, but he really actually let that life go, man. And he still got money, but he let that life go. And everything he do, man, you look at everything Master P and them do, it's ownership. You know what I'm saying? Y'all look at somebody like what Master P is doing. Oh, he ain't Hollywood, or he ain't this, he ain't that. Man, they own just about everything, if not everything that they do. They don't need to be Hollywood, because think about it. How Slim Thug talked about it. Like, well, Slim Thug didn't say what I'm exactly finna say, but Slim Thug kind of touched base on what I'm saying. Like, you know, these labels, they get 90%. I think Slim Thug might have said something like that. But they get 90%. I've been knowing this, but I'm saying they get 90% of what you make when you get a deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's even though you're signed to this big label, you have all this popularity, you know what I'm saying, you still really only making as much as somebody like Slim Thug say he make more money, or if not, just as much money as some of these artists signed to big deals, like, you know, signed to these big record labels. And the bad part about it is they be signed to these big labels, and then, you know, they popping for a year or a couple of years, 3 years, and then you don't see them no more. They either broke or, you know what I'm saying, dead or in jail, or they're no longer relevant. Then we just waiting on the artists that came after them. You know what I'm saying? So like, what good is it? You know what I'm saying? Erica Mason, respect. Shout out to Erica Mason, man, because the thing I like about her, man, Erica Mason is really authentic. You know what I'm saying? Really, really authentic, really truthful, really honest, really transparent. I like that about her. A lot of people, man, are you know, very fake in the industry, man. And that's I say 90% of the people in the industry, man, are very, very fake. And they broadcast one thing, but deep down inside, there's something else. Stop trying to be what your best friend or all your homeboys or what the streets are. Man, be real to who you are within. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Tadashi, OOO. Well, yeah, Reach Records, the whole Reach Records. Tadashi, Trip Lee, everybody on Reach Records. Lecrae. I like Trip Lee because Trip Lee is a pastor and a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's too many artists out here, Christian hip-hop artists out here, that they want to rap because it's kind of like the thing to do, but they don't read the Bible. How you a Christian rapper but you don't read the Bible? That's crazy. But anyways, C Note of the Botany Boys, I love him, man. What is his album that I used to jam all the time back in the day? Is it Third Coast Born? Was it Diamonds All in Your Face? I can't remember the name of the album, but I know the song Diamonds All in Your Face is on there. Lil Flip, if I ain't already said him, I like Lil Flip because Lil Flip is unique, man. A lot of people, you know, doubt Flip. Flip is a rapper, but his style is kind of different. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, fit with that. But anybody in the Screwed Up Clique, man, that's my foundation. So, you know, top to bottom, pretty much anybody in the S.U.C, man, I can go on and name numerous people. You know what I'm saying? But Tadashi, I love Tadashi, man. And believe it or not, Gabi. I know a lot of people, you know, didn't see that coming, but Gabi, man. I love Gabi, and the reason I love Gabi, man, is because when Gabi came into the Christian hip-hop category, Gabi brought what we was missing. It's like he had a bunch of different genres in one, and combined. You know what I'm saying? Like he was R&B. Think about it. Gabi was like, Christian hip hop lacks real R&B, like Christian hip hop R&B, Christian R&B, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. But Gabi was that. Gabi was like one of the first ones that I heard that could actually fit into that R&B, rap, pop, I don't know what other category. He could fit in any category. I don't know if techno, I don't listen to techno, but he could fit in just about any category, you know, that club type music, stuff that you would hear in the club. Gabi was it. He was that. And I say he still is. That's my dude, man. That's my dude. Ain't nobody like him. Ain't nobody like Gabi, man. You can't clone that man. You can't give me a substitute for Gabi. It ain't nobody like him, man. Kevin Gates, if I ain't already said Kevin Gates, thing I like about Kevin Gates, man, is he's very unafraid of what people think of him, who he really is deep within. He don't care at all about what people think of him. And it's crazy because I seen a story about Kevin Gates. He was telling a story about himself, and he talked about how he didn't want to be in the street life. I don't think. And he ended up going to jail or something for something that really didn't. I don't even think it had nothing to do with him. And they locked him up in jail, and he had no choice. You know what I'm saying? But to now you in jail with all these, you know what I'm saying, gangsters. It's like he had to stand up for himself. And so, you know what I'm saying, he had to become one of them pretty much to survive. You know, and that right there is you know, what made him who he is today. You know what I'm saying? Because of the crooked officer, whoever it was that got him locked up for something that didn't even have nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? Now Kevin Gates is who he is today. That's why Kevin Gates got a heart, man. He a real dude, but you know, I like him because it's not a lot of dudes, like it's not a lot of hardcore dudes that actually have a heart, that can actually tune in and listen to their inner self. You feel what I'm saying? That's the thing I like about Kevin Gates, man. You know, I feel like that's as real as you can get. You feel me? Because acting real, but knowing deep down you not really about. That's why you have so many gangsters and rappers and stuff like look at the, you know, gangsters, for example, that turn on their homies or end up killing their homies, or you know what I'm saying, whatever, like relatives and stuff like that. Like, you know, these rappers that end up, you know, selling out, they rapping about this, that, and the other, then they go to jail, and you know, like, come on, man, like, why are you acting like something that you're not? And that's the thing about me. That's why I do the music I do, because I like to be, you feel what I'm saying, like, who I am and who I'm striving to be. Yeah, I fall short, you know what I'm saying, every day, all day. Well, I ain't gonna say all day, but I fall short every day, several times a day. You know, that's not something that I'm happy about. You know, I have to pray several times a day, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, in this world that we live in, man, it's you got corruption in the church, you got corruption in the world. Like, you know, you gotta open the Bible for yourself. We don't have any real mentors and leaders. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I look at people like Trip Lee, you know what I'm saying, Lecrae, you know what I'm saying, people like that actually, Kevin Gates, you know what I'm saying? Another person I like is Dayton. Dayton is a Christian hip hop artist. You know, he's that example. You know what I'm saying? I love Dayton. Who's the other name I'm thinking of? Brian. Brian from Kingdom Music, man. Love Brian. And the crazy thing about Brian, you know, when my group was kind of first getting started, and when Brian and Kingdom Music was first getting started, we was actually like rocking some of the same shows. And you know, it just happened that, you know, life happened to us. You know, I had a child, and then I kind of like, you know, the girl I was with at the time, her family, you know, her people in her sister was a minister, a prophetess or evangelist, prophetess she was, and you know, they didn't agree with the music that we was, you know, the Christian hip hop beats. They didn't like the rap beats, and you know, they would say it wasn't coming from God and all that, and it discouraged me, man. It just made me feel bad, and it made me give up, and I had to tell my group, you know what I'm saying, I really want to marry this girl, so, you know, I'm gonna leave the music alone. And man, what I do that for, bruh? Cause I left the music alone, and that girl still left me. And to me, it was just like, and I don't mean to you know, give the tea like that, but really that ain't no tea, that ain't nothing. But I'm just saying, you know, I had to give the example to say this. All this time, I knew that I wanted to do Christian hip hop music, because I knew who it would touch, who it would reach, the people that I'm most connected with. And, you know, everybody I know listen to rap music, you know what I'm saying, barbecue, TV, sports, music videos. And I saw that. God gave me that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't say God, I don't say things about God like this a lot. But man, God gave me that vision. And he was like, you know, like, this is how you're going to reach the people that you're trying to reach. You can't, a lot of people, man, you can't walk up to them and read them the Bible. Hey, man, I want to read y'all this scripture today. You know, like they're not, they don't understand. It's like speaking Spanish to somebody that speaks English. You got to come with them. I mean, yeah, you can give it to them that way, but, and it's not that I don't, not to say that I don't, you know what I'm saying, give my people the word, but that's why I use my YouTube platform, man, because it's better to just post on your platform, and if people rock with you, if people want to hear it, bam, they gonna tune in. If they don't want to hear it, they don't have to listen. You don't have to be battling back and forth with somebody and wasting your time. When it's hundreds and thousands and millions and billions and trillions of people over here that need to hear you. They're looking for somebody like you and need your time. Why are you wasting your time trying to get this one person? You feel what I'm saying? Go over there and do what God told you to do. Get on your platform and go preach or give the message to that 100 or them 2 or them 3 or them 1,000 or whoever it is over there. And then once you start stirring up, you know, the goodness over here, the people are gonna see, hold on, you know, the people that you was trying to reach are gonna see, wow, I see what he doing. He really making an impact. Now you're a role model. Now they see what you're doing. They see you on your YouTube platform. You feel what I'm saying? And now they see you doing your music, seeing where you came from rock bottom, seeing you was in the mud, and you know what I'm saying, and built it all on your own like Tyler Perry. And so that's what I say, man. My favorite artist, Slim Thug. I forgot to mention Slim Thug. I like Slim Thug, man, because Slim Thug he a businessman. It ain't too many out here that are just like, man, I'm about my money. They ain't out here about drama and all that stuff.